Something you long believed to be true but realized wasn't.
Well, as one of the main opponents of the Illuminati, I always wanted to know what information they had that we didn't.
Now we finally have an update on the drowning death of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Now, according to ABC7, they stated that Malcolm-Jamal Warner had drowned while he was on vacation in Costa Rica. Now, the article goes on to say that Warner had drowned off the coast of Costa Rica on Sunday.
Life, it's fragile, and in the blink of an eye,
you never know.
You never know. So speaking of legacy, what do you hope that your legacy is going to be?
There is part of me that I will be able to leave this earth, knowing and people knowing that I was a good person.
Katt Williams been shouting this from the rooftops for years. If you don't follow Hollywood's unspoken rules, especially as a black man, they'll toss you aside like you never existed. And when you look at Malcolm-Jamal Warner's journey, it all starts making sense. He wasn't chasing clout. He wasn't out here clowning himself for roles that tear down the image of black men. He straight up turned those down. He said no to that tired, throw on a dress and act like a fool act just to get screen time.
Because I spent, so much of the early part of my life listening to, being celebrated on one hand, but paying way too much attention to the naysayers.
And what did they do? They benched him. Not because he wasn't talented, that man had real skills, but because he didn't play their game. And now that he's gone, suddenly the media is calling him a legend. Now celebs are popping up like they were his biggest fans all along. Come on now. Where was all that love when he needed it? Where was that support when he was standing firm and doing real work that mattered? This ain't about some out there conspiracy. It's a pattern we've seen too many times before. Katt Williams has been warning everybody. Once you say no to the system, they freeze you out without hesitation.
These are the first things we saw when we pulled up to the beach. Signs in Spanish and English warning people about potentially hazardous conditions. This sign even giving a roadmap for how to escape a rip current.
So now we got to dig deep into what Katt's been exposing, what Malcolm truly stood for, and why this flood of love only came after he was gone. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, forever known as Theo Huxtable from The Cosby Show, passed away on July 20th, 2025. He was vacationing with his 8-year-old daughter in Limon, Costa Rica, when they got swept up in a deadly rip current while swimming. That area is known for its rough surf, and heartbreakingly, no lifeguards were on duty that day. Officials had pulled them away to handle a spike in emergencies at nearby beaches. Some surfers nearby spotted Malcolm and his daughter struggling against the waves. One of them managed to get the little girl out just in time, while another risked it all diving back in to help Malcolm. But by the time emergency crews got there, it was already too late. He didn't make it. Malcolm died from asphyxia due to drowning. The surfer who tried to save him, he was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Real hero stuff. The autopsy later confirmed it. This was a tragic freak accident. Nothing shady, just heartbreaking. And the reason this hit so hard, Malcolm wasn't just another child actor who faded away.
Rican Beach, where officials say a dangerous rip current swept away Malcolm-Jamal Warner. The Cosby Show star drowning in secluded paradise on Sunday. What makes that beach so treacherous?
It's similar to other beaches where there are strong rip currents that are deceiving.
Mike Geist helps run a volunteer lifeguard organization here. He says while no lifeguards were on duty that day, Geist's friend, who happens to be a trained lifeguard, was there to surf and discovered Warner unresponsive in the water. Costa Rica's Red Cross says they were able to rescue another man alive who was taken to a clinic in critical condition.
Rica, Jesse, officials say Warner's autopsy is now complete.
It was completed this morning, according to authorities, Tom, and they say that it confirmed that Warner's drowning death was, in fact, an accident.
He was one of the few who made it out of that fame machine without losing his soul. No scandals, no embarrassing headlines, just solid, consistent greatness. Malcolm built his own empire. A self-made multimillionaire, Emmy-nominated actor, Grammy-winning musician, respected director, smooth poet, and a real voice in activism. His personal life? Quiet, strong, and steady.
So even before conception, we were very clear we were having a girl. And I knew that I needed a girl first to kind of ease me into it, because I have a pretty good idea of what kind of father I would be. So I needed a girl to kind of, slow me down and warm, it softened me up, if you will. So for me, raising my daughter, I came into fatherhood already with a certain maturity and certain understanding of male-female dynamics. And with a girl, all of that starts with the father. So I've always, since I literally pulled her out of my wife.
No messy breakups, no hidden drama. Just a devoted husband and proud dad, living life with purpose and keeping it clean in a business that chews people up. Everybody who worked with him had nothing but respect. He was talented and grounded, confident but never arrogant. A man who stood firm, no gimmicks, no faking it. Then suddenly, he's gone at 54, in great shape, on a dream vacation with his daughter. It still doesn't even feel real. And yeah, it's tragic how soon his story ended. But let's be real. The life he lived, he crushed it. Now here's the part nobody really says out loud. Hollywood barely acknowledged him while he was still here. And that brings us right back to what Katt Williams been saying for years.
Of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next. Okay. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us.
Malcolm didn't fall off. He didn't fade into the background. He just wasn't down to sell out. After the Cosby Show, he could have chased those corny roles, loud sitcoms, goofy characters, but he said no thanks and chose dignity instead. Malcolm wasn't chasing the spotlight. He kept things real and moved with intention. He turned down roles that made black men look loud, goofy, or flat out ridiculous. No dresses, no clown acts, no tap dancing for cheap laughs. He refused to be the punchline, and that's where Katt Williams comes back in.
Never been a person that has been parodied 9 times on Saturday Night Live and yet never been invited other than me. I, at this point, take it as a badge of honor that they don't fuck with me. A lot of times when people are doing an impression of you, they're really showing you how they feel about you. You know what I mean? So for Saturday Night Live to have an impression of me and have a woman do that means they think I'm a bitch. And I understand that that's what they're saying when they do that. I understand how the game goes, and I understand that if you love me, I know why you do. And if you don't with me, I understand why.
Katt's been saying this for years, in interviews, on stage, and podcasts, warning how black entertainers keep getting boxed in, expected to play the part just to move up. Katt turned down that same circus, no loud suits, no silly roles, no tap dancing just to get a gig. And what happened? They slapped him with every label. Crazy, hard to work with, unstable. All because he wouldn't play their game. Malcolm, he was focused, smart, and overflowing with talent.
For the title is combating the narrative of black life, black culture that the media focuses on. And
that we're all one thing.
Yeah, and the whole concept is, we're not all hood. The black community is not a monolith.
But because he wouldn't play the fool for camera time, they kept him out of the spotlight. Here's the wild part. He didn't even need Hollywood. He was building his own path and living solid. He dropped a podcast called Not All Hood, where he boldly called out how the media keeps pushing tired stereotypes, like all black folks are just one type of story. He didn't chase the fake love from the industry. He used his voice to speak real truth. Malcolm got involved in projects centered on real education, social justice, and deep storytelling. He acted in and helped produce plays and documentaries that spotlighted black history, systemic racism, and the stuff they try to keep quiet. And back in 2021, He went full truth teller and wrote an op-ed for the Television Academy calling the whole industry out. He said it plain, that white producers, writers, and execs still control how black people get shown on TV. Even when it looks like black creatives got some power, it's just a polished illusion. The same old stereotypes still running the show, just with fancier packaging and a bigger check.
There should be a moratorium on both of those words in hip hop because it's low-lying fruit. It's so easy. Everybody fucking does it to the point that it's corny. Like there are MCs who I love, who I cannot listen to anymore because I love J. Cole. But I had to stop listening to J. Cole because I got tired of hearing nigga and bitch
as much
every
as
2 sentences because he's proven himself to be such a incredible lyricist
that you think it's just too low-hanging fruit for him to use those words.
I feel like.
But Malcolm didn't stop there. He also clapped back at what was going on in modern rap and hip hop. He called out the misogyny, the toxic masculinity, the glorification of chaos. He was all about growth, healing, and accountability in the culture, not just keeping the noise going. Some folks thought he was doing too much, being too serious. But when that Kendrick versus Drake drama exploded last year, Malcolm jumped in with no filter. He said what most wouldn't, that hip-hop only gets headlines when it's beef, negativity, and wild behavior. But the uplifting stuff, the conscious rhymes, that never gets the spotlight. He wasn't out here trying to play nice. He was dropping real talk with no sugarcoating.
And Drake beef, which, you know, they talk about how much they hate each other and give all these references to violence and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think, even though we enjoy those songs and they're bops, do you think that has a detrimental impact upon the culture ultimately?
Ultimately, yes. It's been normalized for, us to call ourselves the N-word, right? And we like to talk about how we've taken the power of that word back. But I'm of the school of thought. If I'm trying to speak love and upliftment to my brother, why am I going to borrow a word from people who use the word because they hate me? But we get caught up in, we're turning the N-word into a positive. But our music is not reflecting positivity, love, and upliftment of our culture. And we're at a point now where so much of especially our music, so much of our black music, when you strip away the music and just listen to the lyrics, so much of our black music is really anti-black.
Oh, you think so?
When you think about it, you almost cannot have hip hop without talking about drugs, using the N-word, and murking somebody.
Right.
Or calling a female, a bitch or a hoe. Like that's become we've normalized that so much that I think we need a space where we can say, wait a minute, that's not all who we are.
So when Katt Williams says the industry only shows you love when they're the ones writing your story, this is exactly what he's talking about. Malcolm wasn't out here trying to be some watered-down cartoon version of a black man. He was on a mission to show the real, smart, deep, layered, and human. But the industry kept trying to squeeze him into some box. They wanted him stuck in that former teen heartthrob lane or playing the goofy best friend. But Malcolm wasn't having it. He turned down roles that could have made him more famous, but at the cost of his self-respect. Meanwhile, other black actors from his era were blowing up, diving straight into the roles Malcolm refused. Stereotypes, buffoonery, all that. They chased the spotlight and the checks. And for some, that hustle paid off. But that was never Malcolm's style. He kept it real, and it cost him. Even in interviews, he said his own team would hit him with that "you're too serious" line or call him not marketable. Let's be honest. What they really meant was too black, too bold, too unapologetic. And when you don't fit their mold, they stop calling. They shut the door. Just like Katt's been yelling. If you don't sign up for the clown show, they act like you never existed. But now that Malcolm's gone, suddenly Hollywood and the media want to act like he was the chosen one all along. Now it's nonstop tributes, hashtags, glowing write-ups calling him a trailblazer, an icon. But where was all that energy when he was alive and grinding on his own terms? He didn't chase clicks. He didn't sell his soul to fit in. And because of that, the big award shows, the major press outlets, they barely even looked his way. But now, streaming platforms hyping up never-before-seen Malcolm projects. Networks lining up tribute specials.
How people feel about the ritual. It's about just following the ritual work.
Yeah.
And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's
That
not.
is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully.
Celebs dropping emotional posts like they were lifelong besties. It's like the moment he passed, they decided it was finally safe to honor him. Now that he can't speak out, can't challenge the fake love, can't call out the hypocrisy. Now he's become the safe black legend, packaged up neat because silence is easier to market. Now everybody want to throw flowers and act like they always saw Malcolm as a legend. But that's straight from Hollywood's oldest trick in the book. They don't celebrate folks who stand tall while they're alive. They wait till it's safe, when the person can't speak out, can't clap back, and then they flip their whole image into a brand. Suddenly it's all tributes and praise, just to score some fake woke points and cash in. Katt Williams been calling this mess out. The system only shows love when they hold the remote, when the voice they're praising is finally silenced. So let's keep it real. Is this new wave of love real admiration, or just another Hollywood cleanup job after the fact? Malcolm didn't sell out. That's exactly why they didn't push him. He wasn't quiet because he lacked talent. He was quiet because he said no to the nonsense. Malcolm-Jamal Warner wasn't just another celebrity. He was one of the rare ones who walked through that fake industry with his values intact. While others were chasing fame and attention, Malcolm was choosing purpose, choosing substance. And for that, they overlooked him. Until it was too late. His passing isn't just a tragedy. It's a serious reality check. How many people walk through Hollywood with integrity and get erased just because they don't play along? Now it's on you to speak up. Do you think Malcolm got blackballed for keeping it real? Why does it always take someone dying before folks give them their due? Sound off in the comments. We're watching them all. And if this story hit you, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with somebody who needs to hear the truth. Catch you in the next one. Stay sharp out there.